Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Midweek Moment. Last week, we talked about some of the new initiatives as together we seek to know Christ and imitate Christ. And I shared with you some of the hard work that we are doing with what we are calling the PazNaz experience. And as I said last week, imitating Jesus does not happen haphazardly. It happens with intentionality. It takes focus, it takes our bodies, and it takes boots on the ground. And as we come to know more deeply the Jesus of Scripture, as we talked about 2 weeks ago, we do take the call of imitating Jesus as missional people with boots on the ground in our context, neighborhoods, and in our community. We imitate Jesus by caring for the least of these. Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." I am grateful for the good work of Compassionate Ministries, Helping Hand, and Church in the Park. We have a long and beautiful legacy of Compassionate Ministries in our community. It has also been exciting to watch the launch of small groups as they consider missional engagement in their neighborhoods, and then the launch of the new PazNaz sports with over 200 children in our gymnasium each week. We have a long legacy of missional engagement in our community as well. And I am so thankful for the many partnerships with various nonprofits in the city. But when it comes to partnerships, I go back to the old adage. You could do many things mediocre, or we could do a few things with excellence and well. And I believe that there is still huge opportunity for us in the city of Pasadena if we drill down on 1 to 2 partnerships a year on top of the good work that we are doing with Helping Hands and Church in the Park. We have first a lot of listening to do. Mission can really go awry, even with the best of intentions. But to start, there are major needs on our doorstep. There are pervasive problems impacting our local neighborhood and city, homelessness, foster care, immigration, human trafficking, to name a few. And it's time that we as a church break out of these 4 walls in greater ways and consider the ways that we can join God in the work that God is doing on mission in our own context. What if we were a church that was visible in our community on a regular basis? Just imagine this with me for a moment. Imagine PazNaz, 50, 60, 70, 200 of us wearing t-shirts that simply say PazNaz Hearts Pasadena. Throughout the year, where would we be? Imagine us together serving in our community through monthly or quarterly PazNaz service projects, picking up trash, planting gardens, tending to our neighbors, listening to our neighbors, loving our neighbors, and being present with our neighbors. And if you remember our mission statement, it's seek to know Christ and join him on mission in our local and in our global neighborhood. So we remember that we are also a global church. And as a proud church of the Church of the Nazarene, we recognize that our call is also as a sending church. It is our desire to develop one partnership with one Nazarene church from around the globe. And we also seek to celebrate and support the missionaries around the world by bringing in a missionary speaker 2 times a year and the return of Faith Promise Sunday. So on Sunday, May 5th, we will have missionary speaker Greg Appleby, as it will also be our Faith Promise Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And again, as I said last week, PazNaz, we have potential, and I want to be that church that knows Jesus, imitates Jesus, and goes where Jesus goes. Let me say that one more time. I want to be that church that knows Jesus, imitates Jesus, and goes where Jesus goes. Well, that's all for this week. We will see you next week.